and gentlemen, and welcome to Comics News Today for the 13th of November, a Wednesday. Interesting. And of course, as you guys know, in 2 hours from now, they're going to be having the Pro Edition of Drawn and Quartered, where our man Eric Hawkins is going to go over there defending the Ultimate Edition and doing the amazing work that he always does. And if you guys didn't see last week's Ultimate Edition, we had RT Bear on, and we were talking about his new project, Chrono Mechanics, and that was a great episode. Of course, as you guys know, in the Ultimate Edition, there's often a lot of great artists, and it's often hard to choose. But I do think the right winner won last week for sure because Eric's rocker, the new member of the team, rocker dude was. It was freaking epic, man. So if you haven't seen that, go check it out. That's pretty awesome. Let me see here. Chrono says my subscribers here on YouTube account for 1.2 million people. Rock on, dude. That is really cool. I'm glad you've had so much success and so much people watching what you're doing. That's awesome. Jennifer says, crazy stuff. I'm not reading everything before, so I probably have done that before I said that. But hi, Jennifer. Hi,
Yeah.
Kronos. Hello, Roger. Is Roger in here? He's always in here. He's got to be in here. There is Roger. There we go. But anyway, we're very happy to have you guys here. As always, please check out those links down below, guys. We definitely want to get you involved with what we're doing with everything. Of course, if you want to contact me, hit me up on the Twitter. Of course, you can contact any of these other guys too. And we appreciate you guys. Do keep in mind that tomorrow, of course, is the Ultimate Edition again. And tomorrow we're doing a Chromosome 96. Is going to be the feature, and I think that'll be really cool. That's a pretty project we've talked about before, so it'll be nice to kind of look at that again and, of course, see the amazing art that comes out of it, as usual. But as for today, of course, we have the comics news, and we definitely want to jump in and talk about some of the interesting things going on today. But before I do that, of course, I want to come over here and say hello to my panelists. George, have you worked your mic out, man?
I think so. What is it that you want to say to Mike?
What did I say to Mike? Good luck.
We're all counting on you.
Of course, I always wish Mike good luck with everything he does, as usual, as everybody else. I want them all to have success and happiness and be able to sleep at night and all that kind of stuff. Well, what is your point, George?
I don't know.
Okay, George never knows. That's kind of the problem. And I guess Jennifer's telling me that they were talking about YouTube changes. Yeah, I get a bunch of notifications. I have to go like digitally sign stuff. I'm like, all right, fine. I haven't got to it yet, but I better get to it for December, I suppose. But yeah, no. Of course, there should be no problem with our channel because we don't do child content at all. And I don't know exactly what the form is that I have to go, digitally sign. Like I said, it's waiting for me to do that whenever I get to it. But I think they just want to know, do you do child content or not? And of course, I'm going to say no, I do not. So whatever. But we know they don't push this channel anyway, just like all the other little channels. They don't push us. They don't even want to give our notifications out half the time. So it's like, just leave us alone, man. Do your thing. I don't want your money. I'm not monetized. Just go away. Leave us alone. We're doing our thing. You
Even if
know.
you're not monetized, they'll come after you.
Oh, I know that, dude. I'm well aware. We've seen it. They've already come after us several times. I mean, openly and obviously inadvertently or shadowly. I don't know how to say it, but whatever. It's all nonsense, Jennifer. And that's the way the world is. Isn't it wonderful how they get to get all the protections of a utility, but at the same time get to push people around like a publisher? Isn't that awesome, dude? Wouldn't you love to be given free authority like that? Damn. Wonder what they did to deserve that, huh? Let's see. Chester uploaded or starting. Is this kids or not? And if you say not, and it is, you get abused. You get abuse issues. This is why everyone is freaked. Well, it's not children's content. Let me solve that right now. I do not make shit for children. Does that you think that fix it, Dinale? Does that fix it? Is
I
the
think you.
is the algorithm listening?
No, it's never listening, but we're not part of the algorithm. No, what he's just to basically say every advanced setting, you just have to put not for kids when you go into the studios. That means you won't get advertised, meaning you won't get into the partnership program. So you're
No.
yeah. See, wow, super.
Yeah, don't care. Doesn't mean anything to me. Good, perfect gesture. Thank you, Kronos. No, I mean I'm real happy. With what we got going on. We have a bunch of friends. We come in and have a chat with it every day and talk about things we like. That's enough for me. I'm enjoying myself. I hope you guys are. We're not here trying to sell anything really. We're trying to help any creators if we can, but we're not selling anything, and we're just having fun. That's it. So, it'd be nice if this could just deal with, I think the real simple thing that YouTube should do is separate monetized from non-monetized. If someone is trying to get your money, you go ahead and do whatever you want to do. But if people are just using the general PBS kind of aspect of YouTube, then, what is it? Has nothing to do with nothing. You're not advertising on it. You're not making any money. What do you care? You know what I mean? But it is what it is.
Well, I mean, I think the issue comes down to money because we're still using their servers, and that costs money to maintain. So they want to get rid of channels that doesn't make any money, which is and against to what they came from,
Yeah, but see,
which is
I get your point, but because
mhm,
of that panic they had many years ago, right? That was a long time
yeah,
ago. But that panic where
yeah,
they didn't have the bandwidth, right? They went
yeah,
and Google spent a ton of money, and
yeah,
they have enough room for 100 times the people that are streaming on this service, more. So that's not even
right.
an issue anymore, dude. It's like
No, but we're
it's
but
moot.
YouTube is no, but YouTube is still operating at a loss. And now that they have a monopoly, because you think of uploading videos and videos platform like this, you immediately think of YouTube for such things. So
Oh well, we'll see. We'll see
yeah.
if they
Mhm.
if they basically just bothered by us, then we'll just have to go find some other place to do our stuff. But me, I'm very happy with what we're doing. I'm enjoying the numbers of people that come in. It's awesome. I love sitting down and just having a chat with friends. That's all I'm after, and we're having a good time with it. It's our hobby, right, Denali? I mean, it's our hobby,
Yeah.
and we're having fun.
Hobby.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's not so serious. And the people who take YouTube serious and make money off him, good on them. I wish them all the success that they can have. But we're just having fun. Jennifer says, "Careful, they could kick you to the basement." Yeah, right. Yes, no, we know YouTube has made a lot of money off the same people that they're kicking to the curb right now. We get that, Kronos. We it's so blatant it burns, right? But anyway, we also have a Denali with us, as you've already noticed. How you doing today, Denali?
I'm doing fantastic. It's actually cool. It feels like San Diego weather, which is very nice.
San Diego.
Hmm.
Wow, I haven't been there in forever. Yeah, used to be a nice place though. I don't know what it looks like now. Maybe they've kind of because that's more of an industrial place. They're kind of a working city, so maybe they've kind
Hmm.
of escaped some of the nonsense that's going on to the north. But I don't know. Hey, we got a slick Jimmy in here, and as he tells me, he's always wet and ready. How you doing there, brother?
Uh, I'm fine.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Are you are
So
you are you are you preoccupied with the wet and ready comment that I made the other night?
maybe.
Oh boy.
Uh, but no, actually, what I'm thinking is because we got to make sure we don't have any kids content here, because YouTube is keeping their eye out for that. You don't want no polluting the kids content. So if you occasionally drop a swear word here or there, it'd be appreciated. So let me
All
see
right.
here. Just got
All
to
right.
make sure, right?
Just fuck it.
Yeah, there you go. Solved. Not kid content. Thank you. Let me see here. I'm Canadian. I can tell you about good old Don Cherry. That's funny. George, we haven't even got the news yet. George, there's a question here from Nick for you, and he would like you to tell us about Don Cherry.
Don Cherry is a staple to Canadian hockey. He has been in the business for a very, very long time.
He's an announcer, right?
Whenever he was also a coach.
Oh, okay.
Whenever you think of Don Cherry, whenever you think of hockey, Canadian hockey, you either think of the great one, Gretzky, or
Yeah.
Don Cherry, or Lemieux.
Well, it
And
sounds like he's got a bit of a controversy going on right now. What's
yeah,
happened?
well, the SJWs
Uh-huh.
were, um, let's put it this way, they were They were nitpicking the words instead of the context of what he was saying. They were nitpicking his words. And
Of course.
within the nitpicking of the words, they weren't happy with one single word out of the context of his entire rant,
Which one was that?
and they used it to actually get him fired.
Oh wow, isn't that wonderful? And what word is it they didn't like?
Well, he should have used the word everybody instead of certain people, immigrants.
So he
And
said he used the word immigrant.
well, I'm just giving you
You're
the
not giving me
context of
anything.
it.
You're dancing around it. I want the damn
I'm
word,
not I'm not
George.
I'm
We're
not
not
I'm not
kid
dancing
friendly,
around.
George.
I'm not dancing around it. I'm just giving you the overall thing because it really upsets me just even thinking about how stupid
What word
this
did
whole
he
thing is.
say? Someone tell me what word he said. George isn't going to tell me. Oh well. Yeah, no, we know that, Kronos. But yeah, no, it's oh well. I mean, that's kind of the way it is. And Nick says Mike Miller country. Well, Mike Miller. Now Mike has a problem because Mike is kid friendly in the stuff he does. He does the video things with his kids. I mean, it's his intent. So Mike might well he might have a little bit more trouble than us, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, no joking aside, and that would be unfortunate because, you know, he has fun. He has a bunch of people who enjoy his show, so that would suck if he got someone came at him, you know. And we're unknown. He's known, right? He's an open Christian, and you know how much they hate that. They cannot stand Christians, man, and it's venomous. Oh, it's so sad, so sad.
My
People
my theory
kind.
about
Oh,
my theory about
mankind. He
all
said
this
mankind. Why are you guys so scared to say the word mankind?
because it doesn't include women,
Dude, it most
unicorns,
certainly
and
does include
platypus.
women. This is the thing
No,
that
no,
kills me. No, 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 no. This is the thing
doesn't
that kills me
include
with
it
people not
doesn't
understanding the
include
English language, George.
unicorns,
Man,
platypuses.
men
You know,
don't
I'm
George,
sorry.
George.
George,
I'm trying to educate you. All right? The English language does not have hardly any special words for males. It doesn't. It has very few. Men get the generic word. It's women who get the special words in our
They
language.
don't
Mankind is
care.
in I don't care what they care. They shall not
Yeah, but
change a language
you're
because
talking to
they're all a
stupid
bunch of
people.
blue-haired lesbians that need to get laid. So, yeah,
You're directing
child
your
friendly, not
frustration to
child friendly.
stupid people. Stupid people don't understand. Whenever you have an argument with a stupid person, you will always lose.
Yeah, that's
Always.
true. But I don't understand why you guys are afraid to say mankind over here.
I'm trying to save your channel.
Oh, screw that. Mankind. It is a word. It
do you,
represents all humans.
Oh,
do you
come
guys
on. I'm
want to
trying
know?
to
Do you guys want to know the truth
Yeah,
about
sure,
the
sure.
etymology? What woman goes back to a reference of two females as woman. It's spelled differently. Um, Men used to have you know a gendered version of man. It was weirmen, um, and they were men, and that man stood for human, like like
Yes,
everybody.
yes, yes.
And over time, and we've just kind of relegated um, males to being the men, and then woman kept this to kind of the specific gender. But here's the funny thing: girl used to mean boy.
Yeah.
Stuff has changed,
Things
and
have changed. That's true.
when people like do this thing like it's just where it's all men. Well, I mean, uh, it's stupid. It's adding more stuff. It's changing the language. It's shifting the goalposts. Basically newspeak that
I am.
um, has been warned about. So
And
I'm done with
actually,
my rant.
well, no, but that point you make is a very interesting one because it also demonstrates they understood science before they were supposed to, or at least assuming the modern arrogance of science. Because what you're saying with wereman and woman, woman means from man, and wereman means to man, right?
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
what it basically is showing you is they understood that the male makes the baby and the woman carries it,
Yeah.
right?
It's not a. They used to be smarter than we are now. Apparently.
In many ways, obviously. Yeah, stupid speak. I call. I agree, man. That mankind thing bugs me. It means human, and it sounds better than people kind. That's stupid. It
Yeah.
doesn't flow. Mankind flows, and it was really cool wrestler who was awesome, and he was unafraid of anything.
I still enjoyed the Undertaker and Mankind
That was
match.
great match, dude. Yes, it was. That no, Mick Foley. If you don't know who we're talking about, for those of you who are wrestling ignorant, Foley is one of the most awesome dudes of all time. Aside from his job as a wrestler, you should go find a documentary or go pay some attention to Mick Foley and all the characters he's done because that dude is pure awesome human, mankind. Yeah.
Mhm.
What, Oren? Hold on, my dog is complaining. What is it? What do you need? All right, here. Okay, I solved it. He wanted a treat. Okay, now he has a treat. All right, let me come over here. We aren't doing that yet, so let's come over to this. So, guys, we're going to start jumping into our news here. And let me make this full screen, make it a little easier to look at. So, all right, now this is from Somali, Denali, but I thought it was kind of cool if you don't mind starting out with this. But go ahead and
Sure.
drop the headline for us.
Okay. Whenever you show it, I'll talk about it.
Am I not showing it?
No, you're just showing me.
Oh, you know why? You know why I'm not showing it? There's a reason why. You know why? Because I'm an idiot. Okay, now I'm not being an idiot.
There you
I'm
go.
okay.
Awesome. So we're looking at Ruse Newsarama. Richard Penny explained
Hey, hold on a second. Hold on a second. I got it. Go ahead. Cactus Jack.
explains
Yeah.
Elf Quest return after Final Quest.
Yeah. Now, have you any of you guys here ever read ElfQuest back in the day? I mean, I remember that was like in the '90s, right? I think
No.
did it start in the '80s? I seem to remember reading it in the '90s, but maybe it started earlier and I just kind of got into it. But I liked ElfQuest. Anybody here in the chat like ElfQuest? No comments at all. Wow, I'm alone. But this I think is pretty interesting. They did kind of felt like they ended the story, but I guess they're coming back with it, which is cool. This looks a lot more cartoony than it did before, although it always kind of had this round feeling to the art. But this was an adult comic. This was not kiddie comic at all. So feels more cartoony than it used to be, which is interesting. But maybe no, I'm not misremembering. It was very adult. It had and it was kind of I'm not going to get into this article per se. They're coming back. They're going to do they're going to be doing a new run, which I think is cool. But just for because I'm not getting much comments here. You have to wait for the delay, Chester. Oh, I see. Okay. Well, it's up now. Sorry. But the thing about ElfQuest that was pretty interesting, it was different, was basically you had these elves who were kind of like aliens or trans-dimensional beings or something like that. They were escaping this danger, of course, and they ended up landing on this planet with their castle ship landed on the planet, almost like crash landed, and there was some big something going on. I can't remember exactly. Something was going on inside. They had to escape, and they escaped into out of the castle ship into the surrounding forest, and then boom, we're like centuries later, and these elves that escaped kind of had to go back to a primal state to survive, right, because they didn't have the technology. And then the story just goes through their trials and tribulations and stuff, and it has a lot of feel. If you guys ever read the of Wolfgar up in the Crystal Shard in those original Forgotten Realms books, you remember those books? What was that called? That series called? They started out with the Crystal Shard. That was a great book. Are you guys still here?
Yeah, we're still
Oh,
here,
okay.
but I'm unfamiliar with the
Okay.
product.
I'm just alone on it.
You're out of my purview, buddy.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
look for
anyway,
something interesting to be said.
if you remember, any of you guys remember Wolfgar from the D&D, Forgotten Realms book series, which, like I said, it started as a
Mhm.
Crystal Shard. Great series, by the way. And where each of the clans had their own animal totem, and that totem was a very important part of their character. ElfQuest was like this, and it was very adult. It dealt with adult topics. It was a great book. I loved ElfQuest. It was very much a niche mega hit in a way. They even made a little board game which I have, which is boring as hell. But beside that, at least I have it. But For me, this is happy news. But it looks like I'm really alone because no one has any opinion at all. Okay, all right, then I'll move on. I apologize.
Was there boobies?
There most certainly were boobies. Absolutely.
Then maybe I'll be interested.
Yeah. Well, and the funny thing it was elf boobies because you have this image of an elf being kind of flat chested, but they broke that mold, baby, because they were well adjusted female elven females.
They were abundant.
They were.
Abundant elven.
Yeah. But all right, since you guys don't care anything about ElfQuest, you're losing cred in your nerd cred here. It's going down, guys. But let's move on to something that Dinale does know about. Go ahead.
All right, so this is from VG24/7. Basically, this has been trending for everybody who are casual fans who don't know anything about Pokemon. This has been trending a lot of YouTube channels as well.
Yeah.
That Game Freak lied. Basically, data miners got early release of the upcoming Pokemon game Sword and Shield and found that no, they're actually using old assets into the new game. Which, if they're using old assets from the old games in respect for higher fidelity and everything, then they should have all the national Pokemon decks that they said they were cutting that they couldn't do because they were rebuilding this from the ground up. And there's a huge uproar in the Pokemon community.
You need a Greta Thunberg. How dare you?
How dare you?
Dare you?
How dare you? I don't know anything about Pokemon, so again, I'm out of my purview.
I
more
do.
Booster.
I covered this, but it would be better if we had Booster True. But I did cover this on the top of the week on my last Coffee Yaki Habara. And basically, this is the skinny on it. Now, whether you play Pokemon or not, we know it's a mega worldwide franchise. It makes a ton of money. And people are very excited, including our very own Booster, which is probably why we're not seeing him today, because he's probably playing this damn game. Right? But people are really excited for this new Pokemon coming. And to be fair, there are some good parts to it. One of the really good things is the customization aspect of your character is well beyond anything they've done. So people are enjoying that. And it's a beautiful game. So there's good points. But the bad points is basically like many of these big entertainment groups, what they did was they put the game out half finished. Ultimately, that's what it boils down to, and they didn't put in a bunch of extra stuff, but now they're saying they're not going to, right? So, which is weird because they usually will say, "Oh, well, it's coming in the future, and DLC will fix it," but it sounds like they're not doing that. And basically, what you're having is all these news journalists like Kotaku, Polygon, all those kind of things. They're siding with Nintendo. They're calling gamers babies and all the kind of standard nonsense that they throw around these people. But the people who enjoy the game have a fair argument. Because the only reason this game doesn't have the things it should have is simply because they pushed it out the door too soon. That's it. That's the beginning and the end of the conversation. There's all kind of little Pokédexes and all kind of little adjectives and certain specific words for the game you could get into, but that doesn't matter. It comes down, that's the problem. They put the game out too soon because that's what everybody's doing because they want to make their money now. So,
yep.
There you go. Next. Oh, we're going through them quick today, Dinale. Oh no!
But is there boobies? I want to know that.
In Pokemon? I hope not. That would be disturbing, dude.
Damn it.
Yeah.
So this is from AV News. They're talking about the Simpsons on Disney Plus, where they're cutting the ratio of presentation. So basically, I think they show a picture here. If not, basically, people were showing, wait a minute, it's not even showing the full screen. It looks like zoom in. Everything's been zoomed in to fit the format of the streaming site. Oh, here it is. See?
Yeah. What they're doing is they're doing a letterbox format instead of 4x3. They're doing 16x9.
Yeah.
And so they're cutting off the tops and probably the bottoms.
Sides as
Yeah.
well.
I
Yeah, it's scrunched up.
I would
Yeah.
assume they're focusing on an area as they go from scene to scene, but it's really kind of stupid. It's the same idea that when you ever watch on TV and you watch a letterbox, they're chopping off the sides. You're not getting a full picture.
Mhm.
Well, they're doing this on the tops and bottoms.
Yeah, but I don't think it's intentional. I think they just they're new to the streaming thing. Even though they have access to information, had to expect some troubles, dude. But the simple fact is they have like all 36 seasons or however many it is. They have all seasons of this on the streamer, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
so I mean,
believe so. Yeah.
yeah. So they'll work it out. They'll fix this. I have they come out and said, screw you. I doubt it. They'll probably fix it. I'm assuming, right?
I mean, eventually, but I think it goes against their promise that they said that all episode would be at that correct format at launch,
Oh, so they
which is
even
one.
made the statement and then screwed it up? Damn. All
Yeah.
right.
hmm
Yeah.
It's one. It was one of those hype buzzwords that we're trying to get subscriber. Yeah, if you do our weekly trial, you'll get all how many episodes of Simpsons in the correct format at launch.
Mhm. Yeah, no, well,
uh,
but see, the
yeah.
thing is, I expected them to have tons of bugs and troubles. I mean, it's a new thing. Of course, they're going to have problems. It sounds like Nick is saying they had random German subs on Disney Plus too.
Uh,
That's awesome. But I mean, of course, they're going to have a bunch of screw up. It's going to take time, right? Because you don't
right.
think
They had
Netflix
random
isn't going to help
they,
them, huh?
they had random U-boats. Crazy.
Awesome. I like U-boat movies actually. They're fun. Yeah.
German subs.
German subs.
Anyway,
Yeah, that's right. Germans don't make a very good sandwich, actually. But beyond that, I'm not surprised at all. And hopefully they'll fix it though. But I don't think people should get too panicky about this stuff. I mean, just give them a few months to work out the bugs, and I think it'll be fine. More important to me, I mean, I get it, it's news,
Mhm.
okay, but more important to me is the new content that they're creating, which is a lot. Is it good? That's really the beginning and the end of the conversation, right? I mean, is it good stuff? I don't know. I haven't seen The Mandalorian yet. I know it's. I've seen reviews, but I've stayed away from it. Anybody seen The Mandalorian yet? Do you have an opinion on it? Anybody?
No, not at
No,
all.
not yet,
I,
right?
I really I really don't have inclinations to watch The Mandalorian either, because it feels like
I
a
just
setup to failure.
It could
I
be.
just think it was so cute, just really cute. That's all I have to say.
Mm.
Well, if it is, an actual homage to Clint Eastwood as a bounty hunter, and it sticks to that, and it tells that story, it could be absolutely epic, dude. And I understand Dinale's reservation, as with many of you, because we're like, all right, they're gonna give us something good for a few episodes, and then they go to pull the carpet out from under your feet, and that's what we see
Well,
happen all the time. So I get it, I get it.
they are currently doing the Mandalorian with no name because they haven't named the guy. So yeah.
Oh right, well I expected that too. Yeah, I figured they keep the helmet on for quite a while. I don't even know if he took the helmet off in the first episode, or if he did, it'd probably be at the very end. But well, I don't know. I haven't seen it. But I hope it's good. I mean, because me personally, I want good stuff. I don't want them to fail, man. I want Star Wars to be awesome again. I want the Marvel stuff to be awesome. You know?
Right, but I'm from my position. I'm not running out to watch it
Yeah, I get that.
like I was before when
Mm,
they first announced the new sequel trilogy and was there like midnight to watch it.
mhm.
Now I'm going to be reserved and I'm going to wait till the season's out and and
Wait for
then
the reviews. Yeah.
yeah
Yeah, but see,
take my time.
I get your point, and you're probably
Mm.
and you're right to do so. But I think that the Mandalorian will be awesome because they know that, dude. They understand that. And coming out with the Mandalorian being exactly what we want and being just pure awesome from beginning to end, it will pull in people. And this is a big move, man. This right here, if it's successful, is the future of Disney. And that's not an that's not hyperbole. That is legitimate. This is the future of Disney if they can pull it off. So I don't think they're going to be playing around too much, dude. I have a feeling even that weird stuff, I have a feeling they're going to be pretty epic shows, dude, because they really
Well,
need
I
it to be
hope. Well,
successful.
like I said, I hope it is, but you know, Right now, I'm not excited with anything that Lucasfilm is bringing out, and they have to earn my trust again.
Yeah, the only way they can be successful, at least for me, I mean, and I can only speak for myself, is that they abandon all the political bullshit.
Yep.
I mean, as much as they can,
Mm-hmm.
get rid of the agenda, and just tell good,
Yeah.
science fiction stories. And if they do that, I think the people will creep back. I'll be interested, but I don't want any more, Vice Admiral Holdo bullshit.
Right.
I just,
Yeah.
I
That
I
was
mean,
really
I
bad.
don't want the Force's female garbage. I want just tell stories that don't freaking suck.
Yeah, I agree. Everyone agrees, dude. And
Mhm.
but another positive I would put on, because I'm playing the optimist. I get it, but I usually do, right? But the thing with it is if you remember when Netflix first came out, when they got away from that, well, they basically were like a video rental type of thing, right? Is where they're coming out of
DVD.
that, yeah.
Yeah.
But when they started making their own content, if you remember the beginning, Netflix was awesome, dude. They were kicking, kicking, kicking. It wasn't until they were just making this epic levels of money and just all the success that we saw them starting to go to where they are now, which is SJW Central, right?
All
It's
right,
the
but
same
that
thing
was
with
more
YouTube,
organic.
right? Huh?
But that was more organic with
It
Netflix. They
was.
built up to that,
They did, yeah.
and they weren't having all these issues that Disney Plus and all these streamings were, because all of these guys are kind of rushing to the starting line where Netflix had time to stabilize the infrastructure of their
That's true. That
streaming
is true.
platform.
That is true.
Mhm.
Yeah, that is true. But my point being that I think Disney will probably follow a similar format. Is all I'm trying to say. Maybe it won't, but I feel it probably will, because they really need it to be successful, and they know, these guys know that that's not where the money is, right? But anyway, it was disgraceful, the death of Akbar. They did several things in that Ryan Johnson movie that was just disrespectful, and I think that was his intent. He wanted, because I don't think he likes Star Wars, and I think he wanted to insult the fandom. I think that was his intention, and he was successful. For him, I think he's very happy with what he did, because he wanted to create such a roar that he would never be forgotten. And I think he did that, because you'll always remember Roundhead Ryan Johnson, won't you?
Which is kind of funny that now that you mention him again, because they have all 7 films up, but not the 8th one.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yeah.
That's a really bad one though, because
Mhm.
Force Awakens, you can get through that. That's fine. It's a popcorn flick.
Well, I mean, as people have pointed out over and over and over. I mean, he even stated his intention in the movie. You know, let the past die. Kill it if you have to.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
repeatedly. Yeah.
and just that was the intent of his. I don't know why he did it. I mean, if he wants to live in infamy and he likes that, causing division, I don't know.
Yeah, that was one of his one of the infamous interview he had, that he said he doesn't consider a film successful in his opinion if all the people likes it or all the people hates it. He
Yeah.
wants to make a film where half the people hates it and half the people loves it, because it has that friction and supposedly
Yeah.
makes dialogue and all that stuff.
Well, I mean,
That falls on.
he's an auteur troll, is what he is.
Mhm.
Yeah, that falls on Darth Cathy for getting a director to do that, when that is the exact opposite of what you would want from a franchise. You want to hit as many demographics as possible, be four-quarter.
Yeah, but that's not what she wanted, dude. She wasn't going after demographics. She was going after one demographic. And she was very clear. She said over and over and over and over, she wants to make Star Wars for women. She didn't hide this. This isn't, you haven't been tricked. She was very clear from the beginning that that's what she
I
was
don't
doing.
understand why. I don't understand how Bob Iger could be down with that, though, because that just shoots yourself in the foot. You're cutting your nose off to spite your face. I don't understand.
Maybe
Because
he was
Bob
outvoted
Iger,
by the board.
well, also
Well,
because
he's
he
the
was blind.
boss.
The board is the boss. He just runs things. But basically, here's encapsulate his mindset. and this is attributed to Galaxy Edge. He said you could put Star Wars on anything and people would come and watch it. You don't have to advertise Star Wars. You just put the name out and
Well, then
it,
obviously he didn't understand how people why people love the franchise. Then he just didn't
right.
understand that.
No, he didn't understand anything.
Mhm. But I
He's
think
an
it also,
executive.
but it also comes into things we've talked about here many times. One of the trouble with Hollywood when they're converting things, it doesn't matter what it is. These people involved, they have to make it their own. They have to make it special. They think they're better than what was done before. So you get that aspect coming in, and of course, Model 3 is talking about his hate of Force Awakens, which I get. But dude, if you turn your brain off, that is absolutely an acceptable 5 out of 10. It
Yeah,
is.
you definitely have to turn your brain off.
Oh my God, there's plot holes
Uh,
everywhere. But I mean,
And
yeah, just shut your brain
what's the
off.
crazy? And you know the craziest thing is that they had Ray in that first sequel film more more annoying than it was what was presented in the film. She was more mean and more, spiteful. And it
Mhm.
took basically the Falcon landing on Harrison's foreleg for JJ to look back at the daily and say, "Oh wait, she's too mean. I gotta pull it back and reshoot this."
Oh wow, I
Uh,
think she would have been better if she was mean. I mean,
yeah,
shit, she was abandoned on a freaking planet, dude. She should be angry.
right.
Right?
I don't want to talk about these new movies.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah.
I just don't as a writer. Well, no, I don't mind if you guys talk about them, but like if
It's
as
all
a
right.
writer, I
It's
just want to
enough.
rewrite it in my head, and then I just get frustrated because
Oh, you want to be
there's so many
frustrated,
things.
dude? I can help you with that. Next.
Uh,
Right. This is from Showbiz Cheat Sheets, who's one of the happy chills for Disney.
Uh,
So take this as a grain of salt, but their writing is Marvel grooming Zendaya, MJ, to be the next Spider Woman in the
well,
CU. Yeah.
well. Now I'm assuming these idiots don't know what they're talking about, and they mean to say they're grooming her to be the next Spider Girl. Because probably what's going to I'm assuming the story is going to be that Spider-Man gets jiggy with her, and some of his spider-induced man seed
Hmm.
creates Spider-Woman, Spider-Girl, because they don't know who Spider-Woman is. She's a completely separate character from Spider-Man. It was created in what was that, Wolvagar Mountain. Because her
yeah,
parents are crazy scientists with Hydra or AIM or something, right? So I don't
Hmm.
think it's Spider Woman. It's probably Spider Girl. But
Arachna chick.
maybe Arachna Chick.
Well,
Dude,
what?
someone make that comic book. I want to say Arachna Chick. I'd buy that. Come on,
So what
I'm writing
scares
that
me
down. Now,
about?
hold on a second. I'm writing that down. Arachna
Uh,
Chick. That's getting written down,
Arachne.
baby.
And ask Nasser. I'm pretty good with coming up with stuff like that.
Okay, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
ask Nasser any damn thing, dude. How dare you? All right.
How dare you?
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I couldn't resist.
Mm. I was saying that, because it comes. Here's the idea: if she becomes her own superhero, that means that she can't be protected by Spider-Man because she's now a superhero, and we know what Marvel's view on female superheroes are. She'll have to be in the forefront and be amazing, which lends credence if this happens to the rumor back about pairing up Tom Holland Spider-Man with
Hmm.
Brie Larson Captain Marvel,
Yeah,
and
because woman don't
that's
need no
not
man.
horrifying thing.
Well, no,
Yeah.
women don't need no man. Now, here's the thing. Now, what he's saying is exactly true. That's what they're talking about here with, of course, Kristen Dunst and Miss Stone's character. Of course, yeah, I'll get to one point in a minute, but let's get to the other point first. The fact that them wanting to make her own powerful superhero makes sense, right? But
Mhm.
the problem is the damsel in distress aspect of MJ or any of the women around Spider-Man, including Aunt May, is an important and no, it's not. It's an integral part of Spider-Man, right? It is what makes him up. He's all about protecting his family, but doing what his responsibility. Great power comes great responsibility, right? I mean, that's his whole
Right.
thing. You can't take the damsels away from him. He needs that. That's part of who he is. If you take it away, all that's going to be left is Cuck Boy, which is what they've been
Mm,
creating. Cuck Boy.
yeah,
And we're going to get more and
in the
more Cuck
comics.
Boy, right? And that's not Spider-Man. That's why most of us who are actually comic book fans can't stand the Tom Holland Spider-Man. It sucks balls. But hey, whatever. But of course, they do want to go make her own super powerful thing. She don't need no man type of woman, and that's I'm sure what they're going to do. And they don't understand that they're ruining Spider-Man by doing so. I do like in this article that they do play it out very clearly that this new MJ is not Mary Jane. It is Michelle something or another. What's the name again? I forget.
Michelle Jones.
Michelle Jones, right? And they did this intentionally. Understand because a lot of people are really upset. Why is MJ like that? And they of course were hinting MJ wink wink, MJ wink wink. Of course, it's not MJ. The reason they did this though is because of that 25% different thing that seems to be applying to everything now. And they couldn't bring in the redhead MJ, least Disney get money off of it. So that's why you
Well,
see
you
a
know
lot of this
the
weird stuff in Sony. It's because they're
and
protecting them from themselves from paying out, right?
and it is the ginger genocide
It
that's they're
is.
trying to do.
It is, yeah. Mm,
I'm so sad for all the poor redheads. It's terrible.
right. I mean, they're basically an endangered species as it is.
Yeah, they're the smallest genetic demographic.
Yeah.
Besides like anomalies like say an albino.
hmm
Yeah.
the funny
So
thing about genetic minorities that you might find interesting. You know how everyone's on about the white people, the worst thing that ever happened in the whole history of the mankind. The white people, they're white people. You know how they're going on and on about that. You do
yeah, but
realize that out of the major
whiteness is
group,
bad.
whiteness is bad, but out of the
We're all
major racial
colonizers.
We're
Sorry,
called. We
I'm
are.
cutting you
We
off.
are. Out of the actual major genetic groups, you do realize the whites are the smallest group, by far.
Yeah,
Right? Yeah, by far.
yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, we are colonizers and settlers and stuff. And I'm going to do a bit of a rant here with for Thanksgiving probably next week because that's pissing me off too. Because I cannot believe the amount of people who are pointing fingers and blaming the pilgrims, the frickin' pilgrims, right? I mean, they're the ones who you should be looking at as an example. They show you how you get along with people and have kind and friendly relationships with your frickin' neighbors. What did they have to do with anything anti-Indian? You morons, right? And it's what's the other one? Columbus Day just came. We're not calling it Columbus Day anymore. We're going to call it Native American Day. Why? Columbus is extremely important. You know how many different groups of people have come to the Americas over the millennia, and none of them made anything of it. None of them, right? But
What
Columbus
don't they
made
call
something out of it.
what don't they call Columbus Day Chinese Day? Because the Indians who lived here before the white man colonized it are all from Asia descent,
Yeah,
China.
sure, but you're missing the point, George. You're completely and 100% missing the point. Columbus took the opportunity, worked with it, and created a trade situation. Now, of course, to keep in mind, the important factor was that was the age of wood, and they found there was an expression in America for those of you who don't live in America that it was said that a squirrel could run from the Atlantic to the Mississippi and never touch the ground. So all of those trees were a major market, and that was mainly what was going on, right? It was they were that, and that's how Columbus was successful. But it's funny to me how often they point fingers, say Columbus was a rapist, Columbus was a slaver, etc., etc. None of that is true. Matter of fact, the opposite is true. He was the one who was arresting and actually killing Spanish people for breaking those crimes. He was complaining about it constantly to the Spanish crown about these slavers that were coming in, the rape and all that kind of stuff. He was pissed about it and he was trying to fix the situation. Now, did he do a few bad things? Was he the most perfect human? I'm assuming not. But boy, they accuse him of all kind of crazy things, and it's ironic because the opposite is actually the truth. But that whole thing, that whole window of stuff, especially in the Americas, right? Because initially it was too cold, and that's why they were doing most of their business down in Central and South America because it was easier to function nation and build up stuff. And it wasn't really with the Virginia set up in with the tobacco farms, and then of course the Pilgrims came into deadly territory. And we know how they almost got wiped out. They barely survived because the Indians helped them, and they had a great relationship with those Indians. So the funny thing for me is when we look at all that nonsense that went on, it was the French corporation towns that were doing all that nonsense, right? If you go up to New England, they got along really well with the natives, and they only started coming to blows because the French made allies with the Iroquois nation and the others, and that's where the war came. It was one Indian group fighting against another, and they asked their European friends, "Hey, help us," and we did.
The
But it
French
just
Indian
kills
War.
me, dude. Yeah, the French Indian War. But I mean,
Mhm.
they just go on and on about slavery and stuff. And yeah, that was corporation towns that were doing that. Right? You go up in New England, you know how many black people came in and were free black people making farms and starting up their lives in the new world? No one wants to talk about this? Really? I mean, come on. The Pilgrims and Thanksgiving is one of the most important holidays we have because it's a memory of that entire time and it shows us how we can get along and work together. They should be not only remembered but revered. But yet, how many people saying we don't need no Thanksgiving and pilgrims? Idiots, idiots! I say.
Well, the- do you think that these people are following the same pattern as a certain set of people that were in uh, the middle of Europe, about the middle of the last century? They found a scapegoat type of people to lay all their problems on.
Yeah, yeah.
Just see the correlation.
hmm I do see a
Oh my
correlation.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah, not to go really off topic, but I just saw something from the Hollywood Reporter, a quote just been released. In re, in retrospect, Lucas complaints, George Lucas complaints, mirror some of those from the vocal minority of the Star Wars fandom. Uh, Upset about the direction the franchise has taken since Disney's purchase.
Oh,
We're minority. We're minority. Wow.
yeah.
No,
Yeah. Well, I guess we
well, I
are.
mean,
Well,
Anthony
well,
Daniels and Mark Hamill, and I mean, I think John Boyega feels that way.
I
And
bet, right? Talk about
yeah,
being
I mean,
mistreated, right?
shit, man, that guy, he could have been a really cool character if they'd done him right, but they did him wrong, did him badly.
Well, what to get back to this article and finish it and then go on to the last article. The thing for me though, I've seen this Zendaya speak a few times, and she's kind of a silly girl. But I mean, they kind of all are. But I don't really mind her character so much. She doesn't. She's not the thing that bugs me. I understand why they calling her MJ. I get it. I understand the reason why they can't put the real MJ on there. I understand it. I don't really
mhm.
have anything against Zendaya and actually with the movies. It's everything else around it that's really the trouble. It's not her, I feel. I mean, yeah, she's angsty. She's always got to say the correct SJW thing, but that's the character that she's been hired to play. I don't know. What do you guys hate the Zendaya character of MJ?
I mean, she's not MJ, so it doesn't
She's
really
not
matter.
MJ. She's
And
very
Yeah,
not MJ.
I don't care one way or the other. I think she's an attractive person.
She is.
Just
She's a pretty mulatto
don't
girl.
make her just don't make her an idiot.
Well, she's quite the opposite. I mean, the only negative, I mean, true negative, because she's very annoying, and if you don't like that character, I get that. But the only real negative I could say is they use her to cuck Spider-Man because she's constantly insulting him. She's hardly mean to him. He should have no reason to like her at all. There's no reason for him to be attracted to her other than that she is a pretty girl because she's horrible to him,
What's
dude.
wrong with that reason?
Well, he's a masochist, so
I
okay.
What's wrong with
guess.
that reason? Really?
What are you talking about, George? We're not all like you. Some of
She's a
us
pretty
are
girl. I
men
mean,
with balls of
that's
steel,
that's
sir.
going on from. Oh, really?
I thought you could hear mine clacking as I
That
came
damn
in.
straight, man. Brass on brass, baby. All right, last one. Why is this so much damn Disney Plus? Go ahead, dude.
I mean, because that's all my feeds. I looked at every single
Yeah, I
one
know.
of these sites, and And Disney Plus is on topic, so I kept it light. Fox News: Disney Plus slap contact warning for outdated cultural depiction on classic animated movie. So
Now,
they have a
yeah.
viewer discretion is advised.
Now this is worth talking about. Now this web page is absolute crap. Whoever set this up doesn't know what they're doing. Fox
Mhm.
News, damn it. But this is not a good page. I've seen other good pages from them, so they screwed up on this. But basically, the point being that Disney is changing because they're going to put them all on the Disney Plus. We know that, and that's cool. That's a good thing. That's actually one of the buying points for a lot of people. Hey, I can find the entire animated collection of Disney on Disney Plus. There's value there for me, right? But they're going to go back and they're going to whitewash stuff that they think is inappropriate. What's wrong with this thing down the bottom here? This is some hobo band, right? Oh, are they supposed to be black? Really? I've seen the Aristocrats. I never felt they were black. I felt they were a bunch of singing cats. Jazz. I'm a jazz musician. Am I black? Slick, am I black? I don't think I am. I'm pretty sure. Let me check. I'm going to double check.
I don't think you're black.
I don't
Are
think
you
so.
black?
No, I'm not. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have a mirror?
Let me
Are
check.
you
I got a mirror.
vampiric?
My wife has her
Yeah,
vanity
I
nearby.
think
Hold on a
you're.
second. Hold on a second.
I
Nope.
I
Nope.
think you're
Not definitely
a
not black.
vampire.
I could
You're
be.
a vampire. You don't see yourself in a
Damn
mirror.
it. That's a problem. But I mean, that is stupid. It's just like the Dumbo thing, and they mentioned the Dumbo thing here. Those
Mhm.
crows. I mean, okay, they're African American voice actors. So what do you hate? You hating on African American actors? They can't get a job now. They can't be remembered. Is that what you're
That's
on?
my favorite Dumbo song. That's my
It's
favorite
awesome
Dumbo
song,
song.
dude. It's awesome.
I be
Yeah.
done sing about anything. Come on.
I've seen an elephant fly. Yeah, no, dude, it's awesome. It's awesome. Just like Song of the South. That is a great, freaking great movie, dude. And it actually talks about a point in history and kind of lays it out for the kids to understand a little bit of what happened in a nice way, actually.
Well, the stories about Brer Rabbit, Brer Bear, Brer Fox, those are all based on actual black
Yeah.
folk tales, and so that should be something they'd want to hear because they're the ones who came up with it. I mean, maybe they were bastardized a little bit by Disney, but who knows? But I mean, from all intent and some purposes, that is their history, that is their heritage, and how they told their tales,
Hmm.
so they could, convey the what it was like for them. I mean,
Hmm.
I don't know why they don't like that. And even Whoopi Goldberg has said that show needs to be released.
It does, yeah,
But
yeah. And that's one thing you say about Disney, and we did a full hour and a half or something like that on Walt Disney and one of our TFTs, guys. If you haven't seen that, go check it out. That's one of our best episodes we've ever done, actually. And we laid it out the history of Walt Disney very, very clearly. That dude was the opposite of a racist. He was constantly trying to get people involved. He was pushing the system to get black people involved. And so none of the stuff he did or his company did were anti-black. They were pro-black. That was the whole point of putting them in there, was trying to get it passed because there was a lot of censorship in Hollywood, as there always has been, right? Walt Disney this is not about racism. This is about inclusion. Did I use that word? Did that come out of my mouth? I said that.
sure, why not?
Damn it. Yeah, this is
Everything
stupid.
happens. Yeah.
But no, they should
We've
not do
gone
this,
from
man.
Oscar so in the last few years, we've gone from Oscar so white to Oscar so woke in like, what, 5 years, 4 years?
Oh yeah.
4 years.
I mean, and
yeah.
like
Yeah.
to the point where they're giving out movies. I mean, giving out awards, kind of like the Eisners, just
Mhm.
because of identity, not because I personally believe that
Oh yeah.
because of merit.
Well, the
So,
Oscar so woke thing was so white thing was complete was a complete fallacy anyway. We've had plenty of blacks been nominated over the years. We had some win too, right? But they just because
and the
they had a
actual ones that,
year, yeah, but it was 1 year where you didn't have any blacks do anything of worth. Therefore, they didn't get nominated. One freaking year, right?
well,
It's
and here's the thing,
ridiculous.
like, if you've done all the how many blacks have won, and I'm not trying to relegate, but they won, and they've won about 13% at that point, and that was that's the margin of how many blacks are of the population,
Yeah,
13% of the
it's a
population,
little high
and
actually.
so
Yeah.
and it wasn't like a huge, I mean, that's not a disparity. The ones that might be should be complaining is maybe Asians, because I don't even know if an Asian's
Oh, no
won
one
an
wants to give an
Academy Award.
Asian an Oscar. God, come on, come on. Wang Chong
Yeah.
Kong King. We don't need that shit over here. We don't need it.
Oh man, here we go.
Hey man, I deal with that every damn day. Don't give me that. But no, of course you're 100% right. But it is nonsense because they want more inclusion. Now, if you go look at it, black people are way, and they have been for a long time, to be honest with you. They are way overrepresented. If we really want to get down to demographics, which I don't think demographics should have anything to do with it. I'm a libertarian, baby. The cream rises to the top, right? And I've had
Well,
there's
used to.
plenty of well, dude, there's plenty of Asians, blacks, whites, whatever color you want to call, who are amazing actors. I could care less what color they are. Are they cool?
Sure.
Are they good? Right? Denzel Washington's awesome. I love Denzel. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So there you go.
I mean, what am I going to say that doesn't, he's a white guy and he's talking about race. Well, look, I just want good stories. Like I always
Hmm.
say, I don't care what your color, creed, or anything else is, as long as you're, not throwing a Molotov at me.
Hmm.
Um, I, I have a fun time looking at. I love Wesley Snipes movies. Like,
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
Wesley's awesome.
even some of his schlockier stuff, I dig him. He always brings this kind of, thing about himself, and
Yeah.
and a good I I'm trying to think of the actress and I'm blanking on her name, but never mind. Move
Well,
on.
the good the new Dolomite from Eddie Murphy. If you guys haven't seen
Yeah,
Dolomite, go see that movie. That is freaking awesome. Eddie is back, baby. He's back. That is a killer
finally.
flick, dude. I think it's the best thing he's ever made, man. It's
Really?
spectacular. Yeah. And Wesley Snipes
Oh, I have
is
to go. I have to go find it.
it is nothing. Wesley is nothing like you've ever seen him before. He's completely different. He plays a gay actor, basically. It's freaking awesome, dude. The whole movie is it's just spectacular. Eddie Murphy's back
That's
in a
cool.
big way, man. I'm so happy for him. But yeah, I mean, on and on and on. I mean, there are plenty of good, I guess, minority actors. At least they're minority in America, and I love how they get on about the minorities in film. You do realize white people ultimately are a minority in film by far. You know how many
Yeah.
more films come out of India, China? There's even African studios. You know this, right? But yeah,
Oh
and
yeah.
there's Mexico, South America. There's way more non-white people on film than there are white people. Well, what's this? What in the hell are they talking about, dude? It doesn't make
Well,
any sense. It's as if they have some kind of tunnel vision or something. Hmm.
we're the colonizers, though. You always have to remember that.
Thank God for us, right?
I
Goodness
yep.
gracious, we brought enlightenment to the
I
world.
imagine if it had been the Chinese fleets that had taken over the world, or the Arabian fleets.
Well, see,
But
that's kind
just to
of the
look at the
point I
point.
was making with Columbus, right? Because so many people came to the New World. We knew the Egyptians were here, the Romans were here, the Chinese, the Scandinavians, and probably a lot more we don't know about. There's been many groups come to the New World over the millennia, right? But yet it was the Europeans who made something of it, right? Because no one else made something
Yeah.
of it. They went, oh, we visited that, mark it on a map, and they did nothing with it. The Europeans did something with it. Because for sure, especially in North America, the natives weren't doing anything with it other than just living. They weren't even utilizing the resources efficiently. Now, if you go to Central America and South America, that's not is a different story. They were very sophisticated and very advanced. But in North America, particularly, they weren't utilizing it. And yes, I understand you had the Anunnaki, Pueblo people of the past who were quite sophisticated. I get it. But at the time the Europeans came, there was nothing going on in North America other than simple tribal living, which is fine. But I'm just saying they did something with it, and no other group in history ever did. And that's including mega empires like Egypt and Rome. Those things were powerful, but they did nothing with it. What did the Romans do in the New World? They mined. They used it as a mine. Same with the Egyptians, really. They mined. That's all they really did. They didn't take opportunity to colonize it, to build cities, to utilize that incredible resource that was sitting over there. They didn't do nothing with it. But the Europeans did something with it, and look what they made. Look how beautiful it is. Oh well.
Oh yeah. That's how Europeans roll,
Yeah.
or
Uh,
used to.
But now I'm getting all kind of Rudy Ray Moore is awesome. Yeah, he is. Colonizers forever. Damn right. Jennifer says ancient aliens. Okay, I didn't even touch that. Chrono says ancient Bugsby's have arrived. Damn it. All right, fine. Uh, anyway, did I rant again? I've had a couple today.
Yeah,
What?
you did.
Damn it.
I think that having a frontier, a place to strive to like explore, is really important. It's one of the reasons I believe humans should get off the planet. Um,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah. Absolutely.
because we're becoming stagnant. We don't have anything. The the visceral drive, that the vigorousness that comes from the adventurers is lost right now, because there's really no place to adventure anymore. I mean, you can go around and travel, but unless you want to join like a military and go and be a soldier. But that spirit of discovery
Hmm.
uh, is only in places like, I guess science isn't trying to discover that sort of thing.
The ocean. The ocean. There's a little bit of frontier
Yeah,
there. Yeah, for
I,
sure.
I, I, I guess, but I mean, I'd rather go out and
Yeah, me too.
colonize another planet.
Me too. Yeah. Which is why I hate flat Earth. Damn it. I want to go to space. I like Star Trek. But no, I agree 100%. We should get out there and stuff. And Mars, of course, is probably the first step, although you would think the moon would be. But I have a feeling from all the things we've seen and how much NASA wants to dodge anything about the moon, we probably have bases up there already, though. But then again, there are fair arguments we have bases on Mars too. But it looks like Mars is going to be the first place we really try to push any kind of colonization, at least openly, and that's cool, dude. I'm happy with that.
Well,
Let's go.
it's the only place it's the only place in the solar system, at least from observation, that has a chance for you know
Mhm.
minor terraforming, or even
Well, it
bases that you
already
can
has an atmosphere.
live
It
on.
does have one. It's
Yeah,
thin, but there's one there that can be added to, right? So, yeah.
but you aren't hanging out on Mercury or Venus, and and the moons of like Jupiter and Saturn are too fucking cold. So
Well, anyway,
unless you're on like
um,
unless you're on Io, where everything's like volcanic.
yeah, but it's going to be exciting. I just wish it were my generation, but it's not. But it's all right. Anyway, it is time, guys. We definitely want to keep ourselves tight here on Wednesdays because, of course, you guys know coming up in an hour is the pro edition of Drawn Accordion, and you guys should definitely go over there and check that out if it so inclines you. Of course, we have the Ultimate Edition here on this channel tomorrow. We will be doing Chromosome 96, so definitely come in for that. But we appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. I have to go over and change all the titles. So as you guys noticed, we were supposed to have a guest. Yeah, and that guest decided not to be here. So while we're live, I need to change that. So it'll change while we're live. So that's done, gone. And
Who was supposed to be here?
Gilbert, what was his name? Gil.
Chromosome 96 guy?
No, no, no,
No.
no. The Deep Dark was supposed to be here.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah. But oh well. And now I have changed it so it'll be all official like good. There we go. I got that done. Okay, because if I don't do it during the stream, it's just easier to do during the stream. So I just did it. Boom. Anyway, so guys, definitely check out Slick Jimmy's Little Girl Lethal, which is still in demand, I believe, right?
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, there you go. Eric says, Pro Edition, come vote for me. Please do. Of course, Eric had an epic version of Chromosome, not a Chromosome, of Chrono Mechanics Rocker Newcomer. That was a really good piece from Eric last week. So good luck to you on the show today. But thank you very much, George. George is in the process about dropping his Joe King. That's really cool. And of course, yeah, no, it's awesome, dude. He's been
And
showing us
I
stuff
have
all
I
along.
have a prediction. I have a
Mhm.
prediction for episode 9.
Mhm.
If it's true that they're going to go with George Lucas's version of the movie, then I believe the reason why episode 8 is not on the Disney Plus channel is because they're going to retcon a bunch of content
Mhm.
to make episode 9 work for George Lucas.
Possibly, but George, I am trying to end the show, not start a new conversation.
Okay. What? Oh, the show's over? Oh,
Yes,
okay.
George. All right. Anyway, but he's
Why,
right. He's
why
right.
didn't somebody tell me this?
Damn it, pay
George
attention.
George has his earmuffs on. He's up in Canada, and it's the winter. So
That's true. That is true. But anyway, guys, thank you very much, and it's now time for Dinale to get us out of here, I guess. So let me get over here and get this set up, and go ahead, Dinale.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us for Comics News Today. Join us tomorrow for Comics News Today at 8 p.m. Eastern, followed by the Ultimate Edition at 10 p.m. Eastern, where we'll be doing Chromosome 96 with Michael Lewis. Check out our shows all this week and hit that like, subscribe, and share. Definitely share button because that helps us, grow this
That's
channel.
true. That is true.
Check out all of our projects. Will Grow Lethal, Joe King, doublefluffy.com for George. The Indie Com TV that's happening throughout the week, and the Akabara Coffee, I believe I butchered that. That happens.
Akihabara, coffee Akihabara. It's very simple.
Coffee. Well, not everybody lives in Japan.
Akahabara.
Akihabara.
何ですか?
コーヒー秋葉原はオタクのテレビです。はい。
はい。
Yes. But your perception shapes your reality, so always make it a good one.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Later, babies.
Later.
Aloha.